my gosh, guys. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Oh, this is our first time coming together for Daps for Dads. And I get a chance to bring to you Deshaun. Man, y'all don't know this, but I had an opportunity to talk to him and I heard his heart as far as his desire to encourage men and specifically fathers with the things that they're doing in life that are helpful to families, right? To their wives, to their children. And so that's where Daps for Dads came from. And so I have to say to you, thank you before we even get going, Deshaun, because you have been just an amazing example as a man, as a minister, as a husband, as a father. And it's exciting to be able to welcome you and introduce others into a world of celebrating fathers for the joy and for just the immense organization oftentimes that you bring to families. So thank you and welcome.
Oh, thank you for all of that gassing me up. I really appreciate it. I really do.
Well, it's the truth, right? When we were talking and you mentioned just some of the things that dads do, and that's some of the things that we'll go over today. But all of the different things that you address, that you have to deal with, right? That you are confronted with as a husband, as a father. And I tell you, being a part as well of a blended family. So I know, because I am as well, I'm a mom in a blended family. I know that there are many challenges that are brought, period, just with parenting, right? We're not even layering on being in a marriage. We're not even layering on being in a blended family. We're not even layering on being in ministry or just working to be a healthy part of your community. Yeah. There's a lot that goes into life for us. So we're here today to celebrate you guys. So just share with us a little bit of what you would like to about fatherhood.
Okay, yeah, and thank you once again for having me on. And when it comes to just being a father, it's just one of the greatest things that you can ever really do, honestly. I have a 11-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter, and they're my world. I couldn't imagine them not being in my life. It's like even times when they're not here, maybe they might be over a family member's house, or like my wife, she's from Minnesota, so sometimes they go home to go see their family and stuff like that, and it's just so weird just being in the house by myself for like a week without them. It just feels empty. So when it just comes to just being a father, for one, it's a blessing to be one. In the first place, it's a blessing to actually have my own children. Like you were saying before, I'm in a blended family. I actually call myself a come off the bench dad. So when I met my wife, our son Kingston, he was 3 years old at the time, and it's just he had an absentee dad, and I was able to step in, not really knowing how to go about really being a dad, but just trying my best, because when we got married, I believe he was about 4.5, because we were together for about a year and a half by the time that we ended up getting married. And it's just amazing thing just to see him grow to be this amazing young man. He's a 6th grader now, very, very intelligent, loves a lot of the same stuff that I do. I see a lot of me in him, even though I wasn't the one who helped make him. It's just like he picked up so much of me that sometimes it's just almost scary to see that. When it comes to my daughter, she's like a baby genius. She's really the female version of me, and it's so funny because she has so much of her mother, but she has so much of me too. And sometimes that's a bad thing because she's so strong-willed, and I'm like, oh man, this little girl thinks that she runs the world, and I just melt when it comes to everything that she does. And I'm not gonna tell her that, because she probably tries to take advantage of it or something like that. But it's an amazing thing to really just be able to be a father and be in my children's life, and help build them up to be just great people, and just helping them in their faith in the Lord, helping them with schoolwork. Being that my kids are homeschooled right now, so when I get off of work, sometimes I have to take over because my wife, she works from home too. Sometimes she get a little busy, so I had to help them with schoolwork, trying to remember things that I haven't done in 20 years. But it's just a joy in this journey of raising children, and I don't understand, and we might talk about this later, but I just don't understand how people can have children and not want to be in their kids' lives. But that's a whole nother topic. I just really love mine.
I see that. And I've met them and I've seen them multiple times, and they are so amazing when it just comes to them and the way that they love you, and
Thanks.
just seeing them. My gosh, like my kids also love to play with them, right? And they love to talk with them, and they're just always, it's funny for me because it's always from their perspective, and so my kids will be like, oh, you mean Kingston's dad? Like it's never it's never by your name, hardly ever, right? Right? It's just like, oh, we
Yeah.
know him from Kingston now. Yeah, 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 yeah. He's cool. We like his music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so it's interesting to see those things happen, and just to see the love and camaraderie. Like you wouldn't think that he wasn't birthed, like you weren't there at the delivery. You wouldn't think that, right?
Mhm.
And I love your concept of a come off the bench dad. Like, yes, that is so neat. How did you come up with that?
It's actually a poet named Propaganda. He said he's a amazing poet. He's a Christian poet, and he made a song basically about that situation, about how he met a woman that had a daughter, and he actually was making the song basically for the biological father, how your daughter still needs you. And he said in the song, he was like, I'm gonna come off the bench, dad, but she still like yearn for you even though I'm here. So yeah, that's where I got it from. I wish I could take credit for it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That really is cool though. I
yeah.
love how creative you are. Like you always combine different things and talk about different things. And I've heard you perform and minister at different times, and to hear all of the different things that you include within your music is so encouraging and uplifting, because so many of us can relate to different areas of things that you
Mhm.
say just in the different lyrics. So it's neat to join in another arena in connecting to you with your
Mm.
life, the things that you do. So, what would you say are some of the additional major joys that you have besides doing homework and trying to remember?
Uh, outside of that, yeah, I tell myself that that's joyful. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay. That's why I'm just happy that I have a little sister that's in college that still remembers this stuff. Because we call her a whole lot, like, yeah, algebra and fractions. Haven't done that in a very long time. Like I was in college like 10 years ago, and once I left, I didn't care anymore. So, but yeah, the joys is really just seeing their growth. Watching videos from last year, they just look so different. They just really look different, and they grow so fast. And just to hear the way they think, and you just see their little minds developing, and they have their own personalities, and it's just like wow, like I'm looking at God's creation, and then they're their own people, like little people. When it comes to my son, he's very easygoing. I can talk to him. He agrees with the majority of stuff that I say. when it comes to that little girl Israel, oh my goodness. You would think that she was on earth for 75 years because she just believes she knows everything. And she's like, actually, Dad, that is not. I'm like, you don't know anything. You're 5. Like, what do you actually what? Actually, you're wrong. But it's just so funny because you can't tell her that because she just believes that she just knows everything, but they just have their own personality, their own little grown people. But it's amazing. Just and they really make you feel wanted and needed. Like I work a lot, and during COVID, we stepped back a lot. So I was being that the layoffs came, and I was able to start working on my own businesses and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time at home, but I ended up having to go back. And my son came up to me like, "Dad, I hate your job." And he just walked away. And I was like, man, that's like really tough. And my daughter was like, yeah, Dad, when are you going to quit this job? And I'm like, yeah, I have to go to work because we have bills that need to be paid. And she is so funny because her faith is really strong. Like my son, he's like me. He's learning to get straight to the point. He gonna say what he have to say, then he's just gonna leave it alone. But she was like, you don't need to work. Jesus is gonna pay for all the bills. I'm like, really? Like I'm happy that you got that memo because I didn't. But I was like, if you say so, but it's just knowing that they want me here. So I was able to work some stuff around to where I don't have to work as long. So I'm like so grateful for that. But it's like I tell people, if you're ever bothered by this world and you have children, they will lift you up. They can work your nerves at times, but it's just like they just know when you need like some type of encouragement or something. And by them telling me, like by them saying that is them telling me like I need you to be home more. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for wanting me to be here because I don't want to get up and go to work. But I'm so happy to know that y'all weren't tired of me being here with y'all every single day. So that's one of the things I just think is just so amazing. I know they just make you feel so loved and so needed, and it's just kids are great.
Yeah, I really believe it's a reflection too of what you're putting out. So I have to say, if you guys, dads, have ever experienced that, if you know what Deshaun is talking about, man, take a moment and go over now and register so that you can come on and share with other dads the emotion and the feeling that you are receiving right now. So I know I felt that as a mom, but for all of you guys that have felt that as a dad, I'm saying to you right now, yes, okay? Get over here and share that with another dad. Help somebody else to understand and know the feeling of being a happy father, right? We hear so many things that happen in the world that, oh, there's this going on, oh, there's that going on, where you should not be happy in your home. But it's not true. You can have happiness in your home as a father. So I encourage you guys to make sure that you head over and you register at bit.ly/DAPS for dads. That's DAPSFORDADS. So bit.ly/DAPS for dads, so that you can register and share the joy of fatherhood with others that are in the community, so that you can encourage more families as we are doing here today. We need you. Dads, we need you and we appreciate you. And just like his kids were sharing with him, we want you here. Now, they might not have said that exactly right away, right? They had other ways of sharing it, but man, did they have real feelings about it. They wanted dad around, right? And we want you guys around. We want dads that are come off the bench dads that are engaged, dads that love their kids and want to show up, right? And create a safe space for their kids to share their feelings, to grow, and to learn. We appreciate you guys, you fathers, for stepping up and taking the opportunity and the chance to just share your love. to share your appreciation of your kids and to live a joyful life, right? To really share the fruits of the spirit with your kids. Love, joy, peace, long suffering. Woo! Can I say yes to that
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
So, what would you say is some of the challenges that you face that have helped you to grow and continue on as an engaged father?
Yeah, I can honestly say having children, it challenges you and your faith. Raising kids in a world that we live in now is at times it can be nerve wracking because you just never know. Walking out the door, you just really never know. I'm teaching my son more than my daughter right now, but he's getting up there. He's 11 years old, and I'm just thinking like, wow, in 5 years you'll be driving. So I had to teach you how to deal with police, but I'm not one of those people that's just so against the police at all, because I understand even in our own community, we have to know how to deal with your next door neighbor too, and how to really teach them how to control their emotions, to know how to walk away from situations when they get escalated, well, when it can be escalated, and just de-escalate those situations. It's really tough, and I don't want to make it a race thing, but it's hard having a little black boy. It's just really hard. Even stuff that's, and this might sound crazy, but even stuff as difficult as before, he had, well, people don't like calling them dreadlocks. Now you got to call them locks. He had his hair locked, and I'm like cool, like you can have locks. This is what you want. But just thinking about, oh, the world perceives him a certain way because he has locks in his hair, and just dealing with stuff like that. I'm like, my son is a good kid. There's nothing wrong with locks. My family is from the West Indies, so it's just one of those things that's just like a part of culture. I don't have them, but I wish I did. But unfortunately, I don't have any hair anymore. But it's just one of those things that I have to think about these things. I have to think for, like, really for his future. And okay, I had to teach him how to respond this way. I had to teach him to respond this way. I had to have those talks with him to let him know, like, people look at you as somebody being at the bottom of the totem pole. So you have to kind of overachieve to just be accepted when it comes to certain things. And sometimes it can really be heartbreaking, but it's the reality that we're living in. And when it comes to my daughter, just with things like the child abductions and the sex trafficking and just things like that, it's like this stuff is on your mind, and you have to constantly just pray over your children and ask the Lord to protect them, because you just never know. It's like these days, it's you almost have to just sit out and just watch your kids play in the front yard, because you just never know what might happen. And I remember, and I'm not saying that was perfectly okay, but at my son's age, I was riding my bike all around the city of Cleveland. I came back home every single day with no problems. And here it is. I'm like, you can ride to the corner and you can come back. And it's just because the time that we're living in, it's like you really have to protect them. So it's it's just that's the challenging part of it. Just being at peace and understand that the Lord will protect them, but not being in a place to where you're not keeping your eye on them, and just preparing them for everyday life. It gets rough at times, because I can control what happens inside of my home, but when they're not here, I can't control the environment, and sometimes that's really tough.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. I feel a lot of the same way when it comes to just the things I was able to do as a kid, that still to this day, some of them I'm going like, really? I was able to go do that? it's a lot going on. But nowadays, woo! And it's like my kids are really, really comfortable. Really, really comfortable. And sometimes, like, my husband has had to sit down with them and try to drive home the fact that you have to be careful. You can't be overly comfortable with every single person that you meet, with every single place that you go. It's great that you have that sense of peace and that sense of security, you know, that we've provided that for you, but everybody is not us. And so it was really good when he took that time with them to stop and say, listen, these are the boundaries. You know, these are the boundaries. You have to pay attention. We need you not to do this. We need you to do this, you know, and I'm standing there supporting him, just like, yeah, please bring this home, because they need to hear it from you as a dad. You know, that structure, it makes a difference. And I really feel like dads provide just such a level of structure and just intense focus for them. And you guys are amazing when you bring that home for the kids. And it's like, I feel like as a mom, we can say 50 million things over and over again. It's the exact same thing. And you guys come in and you open your mouth and you might say it the exact same way. You might say the exact same thing. And the kids are like a deer caught in headlights, stuck. They are just like, yes, this is what we need to go and do. Don't you ever go against it. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad it got done. Like, I said it 8 million times. Dad came in and just slightly breathed it out of his mouth. And you guys are like dead set on, this is how the world needs to turn now. And it's like, thank you, Dad.
Yeah. That is so funny, because my wife, she says the same exact thing. She was like, I just said that to them 100 times in 100 different ways, and they don't get it. And then you just look at them and say it once, and they got it. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. It's good to hear that from another mom. So now I don't have to think that my wife is crazy.
I'm telling you, it's the structure that you guys provide. It's just the way that you are. It's that respect that's given to dads, especially when you are there. When you are functioning as a dad that is engaged, the kids are just like, it's gospel. Like they're like, Dad said, this is what we do, so this is what we do. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what we do. That's just how it goes. And I get it. I remember as a kid, you know, I would be like, Mom, I don't know what is going on with you. And Dad would step in the picture and be like, well, honey, let's talk about this. Let's think about this. And I'll be like, that makes so much sense. And it would have been the same thing my mom was saying. But when Dad broke it down, it was clear. It just made all the sense in the world to me. And my mom would just be looking like, okay. Yeah. Just, I'm glad it got done. Like, literally,
that's funny.
My mom would be. But yeah, dads, you are so needed. You are so important. And that's why we're here today. Because we believe that you make a difference. We believe that you matter. We believe that you're important. We believe that the words that you say and all of the actions that you perform within your home and with your family outside of your home, they make a difference, right? You, your voice, your actions, we care about you. We want to see you engage with your family, and we see the engagement of you with your family. And today we say you're amazing. We say you are important, you are appreciated, and no one can take your place. Please know, dads, we love you and we appreciate you and we believe in you. So we are here to encourage you, to give you high fives, daps, pats on the back, to say what you're doing matters. It is important. You are important, and we need you to be encouraged. We want you to continue to create the space where the kids can come in and they can talk, where they can come in and they can ask you about their homework, where they can come in and say, I hate your job. because they want you next to them. They want you close to them. And that's the truth. Yeah. That is the truth. We want you near. We want you close. So thank you for you dads that are creating that feeling where your kids say, I want you here. Where your kids aren't saying, Dad, I miss you all the time because you're not there. But they're saying, I love that you're here and I don't want you to go anywhere. Thank you for creating that space like that. So as a dad, Deshaun, what are some of the ways that you would love to be celebrated? What are some of the things that you love to see and that you would love to receive as celebration? And dads, we want to hear from you too. What are some of the things? So comment along and see if you guys match up with some of the things that our dad of the day, Deshaun, is talking about.
Just stuff like this. This is so amazing, Tomesha. I'm just grateful for this, and I think this is the type of stuff, because a lot of times there's nothing against the mothers. Like my wife, she's an amazing mother. You are an amazing mother. My mother is like the GOAT. So when it comes down to like stuff like that, my daughter, even though I told her that I'm going to be doing this interview, she's sitting here staring at me. Israel, give me a few minutes and I'll be right with you. But just things like this, because a lot of times I feel like they will bring, like, the world would just bring up all the wrong things when it comes, all the bad things when it comes to dads. The dads are not in the home. The dads have a bunch of kids out here and they're not taking care of them, and just different things like that. And I'm like, but no, like, all my friends, we all take care of our children. I have friends right now that are single fathers, and they're raising teenagers, and they've been doing this for a very long time. I mean, I have one friend that actually joined the military to take care of a child, and his daughter was like, I think like 1 year old or something at the time when the mother left, and he joined the military, and his brother actually stepped up and would take care of her while he was deployed. But he's still, to this day, his daughter's like 14, and he's still a single father to this day, doing this thing. So I'm like, it's a lot of us that's just like, no, this happened to us, and we're not going to let it happen to our children. Yes. So it's like things, just small things. We don't need a lot. Just thank you, just thank you for actually doing right, because we hear enough about all the stuff that dads in general get wrong. So just to say that, yeah, we actually are doing something right. Israel, go. And having kids that listen all the time, like my son. I'm actually in his room, and he hasn't came in this room for anything. But here goes my daughter. She came up here to get a hanger or something.
Hey, sunshine.
Hi. She said hi. Bye, mama. Bye. Yeah, but that's it. Just literally just a thank you. I can say that my wife, she does a great job at it, because she knows that it's very difficult. Even though I'm married, it's still difficult with the pressure of being a dad, because it's like, you want to do everything for your children. You want to protect them at all times, and sometimes you can't, and you have to live with that, and it gets kind of tough at times, but just little pats on the back and thank yous is more than enough. More than enough.
Well, that's how we're going to have to end today. So anybody who wants to celebrate a dad, send them over so that they can be celebrated as our dad of the day on here. We'll be sharing this on social media platforms as well. So if you know somebody, share this over to them so that they can be celebrated as well. And we're going to end today. Deshaun, is there anything else you wanted to share before we close out today?
I just want to encourage every dad out there, just keep on going, just keep on pressing, even if it might be hard. Those children, they need you. They need you whether they live with you, even if they don't. I know a lot of times we think that just sending money is enough. It's not. It's not, because those children, they'd rather have you be around than you give them money. So just remember that if your children are in your home, spend that time with them. If they're not in your home with you, try your best to spend that time. And for those who are dealing with any type of, I guess, baby mama issues or anything like that, remember that has nothing to do with those children. Has nothing to do with them at all. It's your responsibility to be a dad no matter what. And our kids, they need us. Even if they don't say it out of their own mouths, they do. So we have to just continue to try our best to be the best fathers that we can be. And I just want to just give props to all the ones that's out here striving to do the best that they can to make great human beings out of their children.
Yes, my gosh, that is it for today. We have to say thank you to every dad. These are your daps right here. Deshaun, you took the words out of my mouth. Yes, thank you, dads. And today, our dad of the day, Deshaun, thank you for everything that you are doing. Snaps, kudos, claps, daps, back, high fives, pats on the back to you, sir, for all that you are doing as a father. We appreciate you. We need you. And we thank God for you being here on this earth. It's not the same. It would not be the same without you. So you are making a legacy of change right now. So we appreciate you. We thank you for all you're doing and for the change that you are making in other fathers' lives by coming on today and sharing your story. So this is another installment, our first installment of Daps for Dads. Thank you so much, Deshaun, for being our inaugural Dad of the Day.
And thank you for having me on. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So thank you so much again for coming, Deshaun. Thank you guys for joining us today. Make sure, again, you share this out. Leave comments below. Leave congratulations to Deshaun for being an amazing dad and our dad of the day today. We will see you soon for our next episode, and make sure you are sharing this with fathers, because there are a lot of great fathers, just like Deshaun said. So we want to celebrate all of them. So share them with us so that we may encourage them as well. Dads, be encouraged. We will see you next time. This is Tomesha Walker with Daps for Dad. And thanks again, Deshaun, for joining us. Bye, guys.